My name is Adam Schroeder, and I'm the Director for Ada County Weed Pest and Mosquito Abatement, and I also serve as the Noxious Weed Superintendent for Ada County. We're here today to talk about one of the most pervasive threats to Idaho rangeland, agricultural settings, and transitional spaces, rush skeleton weed. Rush skeleton weed is an invasive perennial forb. It's native to Eurasia, but has somehow found its way to the western United States. In Idaho, we have over 3 million acres of land that's infested with rush skeleton weed. And as you can see, it grows to be about 3.5 feet tall. It has a tap root that can grow down into the soil around 7 feet. It produces a milky latex when it's cut, as you can see. Rush skeleton weed starts out in the spring as a rosette, and you can see the desiccated rosette vegetation right here. So once it bolts, it produces these downward facing hairs on the stem. That is an easy way to identify skeleton weed. Also, it turns into this wiry bush that has very little leaf surface. We're here on the Boise River Wildlife Management Area, and a couple of years ago, this whole area burned. And as you can see, all this green that is moving up the hill, that's all rush skeleton weed. And that's how rush skeleton weed can displace natives, especially after a wildfire. It's a very hardy plant, and sometimes when wildfire comes through, it'll burn everything but the rush skeleton weed. Rush skeleton weed is also identified by this small yellow flower head, and these turn into dandelion type pappus. And that's how that wind picks it up and carries it off to be planted somewhere else. As far as control methods go for rush skeleton weed, it's a very difficult plant to control. One of the best times to control rush skeleton weed is when it's in the rosette stage. If you have rush skeleton weed on your land and it's already in the bolted stage, you want to make sure that you're mowing or cutting and making sure that this plant does not produce seed. That's the best way to control until you can get to the spring and do an herbicide application. We like to use something that translocates within the plant. Transline, open site, milestone, those types of products are good for rush skeleton weed, especially in that spring rosette stage. And that way, if you have a fall flush that comes out and you see rosettes in the fall, you have some residual to pick those up as well.